Greetings, sacred beings, ancient souls. Welcome back to the part 2 of the celestial transformation. So, what we've got going on, this is the time of the year when we've got all this excess celestial energy going on. This year we've got just came out of Mercury retrograde, but we had Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, all in retrograde. For those of us who follow the Gregorian calendar, we have the 8-8 portal in Mayan astrological wisdom. We just entered a new Trisena, and we also have some action from Uranus going on. We just came off of the full moon, so there's a lot of energies going on. So we've got emotional energies, we've got communication, we've got discipline, we've got dreams, we've got our wounds, and we've got the dark side all making moves this week. Also, if we look at the original calendar, or a more closely related to original calendar in line with what the ancients and the natives had going on, we also have a portal this week on what will be this Friday. So actually this month started on the actual first day of the month, which is the day of the sun, and that is in alignment with the Mayan calendar of the Trisena, and we are just, some of us are especially going through this energetic celestial changes right now. Also, this is the time when the bright star Sirius Sabdet, if you know the proper name, is going to be rising, and that rising will take place at a different time depending on where you are on the planet based on your latitude. So starting from approximately the 3rd of this month up until the 12th, you will be able to see that bright star at the dawn. You'll be able to see that on the horizon depending on where you are. If you were in, I believe it's Midwest in the States, Chicago time, you should be able to see that starting today or yesterday. So again, in a retrograde, this is an optical illusion based on what we see, where we are looking from the planet. So, we need to be mindful of the fact that based on what is actually in the sky, we are still in Cancer season. Based on where the sun is in the constellations, we are still in Cancer season, so we still have lots of emotions going on, family concerns going on. Again, this is the optimal time to reflect and see what it is that we need to let go. This is, for those of us in tune, this is the optimal time to do some releasing to let things go that are possibly affecting our movement. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to check something. So, then I guess, as I mentioned, the proper name for the brightest star is actually Sapdet, which is the ancient Commission name for that star. Many of you will know this star as Sirius, and in ancient times, this star was connected to the Neter, the characteristic of the celestial being of Auset, who many of you may call Isis, but the proper name is Auset. So this is the characteristic of the Great Mother, the Divine Feminine, as you may choose to call it. So this was a time of connecting with that nurturing aspect, that loving aspect, as it relates to all things. And also this time was a great connection to the being of the dog in ancient times. This connection with Leo and the lion is a modern interpretation versus what was going on in ancient times. So the dog was actually a animal that was revered in ancient Kemet. It was this dog is, if I'm correct, the actual connection to the ancient times is not currently alive. I believe they are all extinct. So and then this is also related to the dog days, which is the hottest time of the year, and in ancient Commission times, this was also the beginning of the new year, because the planting of the crops would begin, because at this time was when the Nile would come back and bring life to the field. So this was when they started planting, and those people that paid attention to the celestial events would be marking carefully when Sapdet would be able to be seen from the horizon, so they would know exactly when to plant. And this was a time of fertility, and they would have celebrations and rituals were performed. So we can also get in line with that by connecting to our great feminine, our feminine aspects, and focus on bringing back the nurturing and the love and the care that is necessary, especially at these times when so much is going on as far as the out of control masculine is wreaking havoc on the planet. So with the divine feminine coming into being, this was one of the protectors, and some of the ancient pictures of Auset were featured with the dog, this sacred being. So that goes along with, so the connection between Auset and the dog is the loyalty and the loyalty and the protection, and the the mothering, because if you've ever had a dog, if you know dogs, you know they're very protective of their young. So some things that you can do at this time, just choose maybe like 3 things that you would like to work on, or 3 things that you would like to release, and set some time to purify yourself, purify your space, light candles and or incense, and just sit for a moment and ground yourself, and then connect to the celestial aspects, and get ready for this season, because this is also the precursor to this eclipse that is coming up in about 3 weeks. We've got the lunar eclipse on the 7th, which will be another full moon. Lunar eclipses are always on full moon, so we've got this lunar eclipse coming up, and then we have a solar eclipse on the 21st. So again, we're setting the tone for these eclipse seasons, which is definitely a great time for even higher reflection and taking time to sit with ourselves, to enjoy ourselves in our solitude. Another thing that was popular or important, I won't say popular, important in ancient times was the jed pillar, those pillars on some of the ancient structures, which are like beams, and they would have the protruding circular, I don't even know how to call it correctly, but at the top there would be like 3 lines that go around the beam, and these were symbols of the electricity and the energy, and supposedly these columns, these beams, were also used for creating a flow of energy at that time. So this is a great time of awakening. If you were able to, it's also a good time to reconnect to the water, because Cancer season is also connected to the water and emotions and family. So including a water aspect in your ritual is also a very beneficial thing that we can do. So for those of you who are doing rituals on this Friday, it's also a good time to do that, because also Friday is also a day connected to the divine feminine. So we've got tons of energy coming in on Friday, because that is the 6th day. 6 is also the number of the great feminine. So that would be an excellent day to spend some time in meditation or in ritual. Let's see, what else? Also, so part of the reason the series Sapdet is called the Dog Stars, because it lies within the constellation of Orion, which is connected to the ancient It's the constellation where it sits is, I'm sorry, it's Canis Major, so that's why it's called a dog star, because Canis, canine, that's the dog. So, um, so like I said, there's all these connections going on with, we've got Sirius connection, we've got the celestial movement connection, we've got the Osset, and Osset also at this time was connected to the resurrection of Asar, and a good thing also to do at this time is to write in your journal. We just finished the solstice, so you've got this solar energy. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so the moon energy. So this is also a good time to work on balancing the masculine and the feminine. So those are the things you can be looking at this time. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place. That's what we have for part 2. We will come back with another portion and a reading for Friday, the 6th day, to get the energies working for us, see what things we can focus on, what things would be beneficial for us to be focusing on, because again, this is a portal. So portals are openings, gateways. These are times that we can use to enter into greater connection, not only with the celestial realms, but also within ourselves, because we are all connected to that. We are celestial within ourselves. So that's what we have for this second portion. Hope you enjoyed. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you're feeling, what you're thinking. I know this has affected me greatly. And we will talk to you soon. Peace.